Tonight, it's a one-of-a-kind event being pioneered by Reigel Promotions. This is the Gunslinger Challenge. 16 drivers are entered, but only 4 will race in this bracket-style elimination event, and you've just got to stick around to see how it ends. Welcome to Pit Stop TV and the virtual Salisbury, North Carolina. I'm Andrew Cardinale IV. I will soon have Zach Murtis joining me, but for now it is me as he actually gets some practice in before he goes racing and tries to make tonight's feature event. Tonight's coverage from Millbridge is brought to you by Reigel Promotions, Two Fat Guys Sim Racing Promotions, and all series partners. This is going to be a very, very special night. This is a really cool concept. I've wanted to do something like this before, but just have never had the right opportunity. I've never had the right league to do it with. I didn't come up with this idea in this case. Reigel Promotions and Two Fat Guys, they put their minds together. They made this happen here tonight. This is an amazing opportunity for us to see a really cool use of the iRacing.com sim. It sounds like drivers meeting has just begun, but this is our scenic blimp above the Millbridge Speedway. And yes, this is the racetrack. This is the full racetrack. And there you can see the cars down below. This is all they've got to work with. So as cars go out for some more practice laps, you can see it's already taken a lot of rubber and has definitely been run in. It is going to be a slicked up racetrack tonight for these guys. Let's talk about the racetrack a little bit, though. Of course, this is in Salisbury, North Carolina, right between Mooresville and Salisbury. Technically in a little area called Mill Bridge, literally Mill Space Bridge, located about 30 minutes north of Charlotte Motor Speedway. This place has seen a big facelift as of about 2011. It has become kind of a cult following almost. It is a really cool racetrack. If you've never been, but you're in the area, you've got to go at least once. Check this place out. It's tiny. I did an unofficial Google Earth measurement earlier. 0.14 miles, 0.14 miles. That is less than a sixth of a mile. I'm going to call it a fifth mile, I think, here tonight. I think that's closer for the outside lane of the racetrack, but around the middle of the racetrack, about 0.14 miles around for one lap. These guys are turning lap times sub 9 seconds in the case of Dylan Yeager and Logan Wentz and Trevor Giroux and James Head. 4 drivers so far, already sub 9 seconds. This is going to be a really cool race. Let's talk about how this is going to work. We don't have point standings or anything to go over. Let's talk about the Whiplash Simcam's race details. 16 drivers are entered. There will be 8 quarterfinal matchups, 4 semifinal matchups, and a 4-car final, meaning it's 1v1 racing. Heads up, 3 laps, go race and try to beat the other guy. That's it. You just go out there for 3 laps and try to beat him back to the stripe 3 laps later. Then there will be a 12-lap final race with cautions on. There will be 4 cars in that final race. Unlimited fast repair. Just go out, have a good night. That's basically the I guess the motto here this evening. Go have some fun. This is a crazy idea. I love this. We're going to have some fun. I think you can see these guys trying to get laps in. This is a very congested track with these big block modifieds on the racetrack this evening. This is a really special venue, a really special kind of race. And as we go to some of the scenic cameras around the racetrack, I mean, you can see just how much speed they're hauling through the corners. Let's take a look at lap times out there this evening. Dylan Yeager on top at a 8.9 second lap. And let's just ride on board. This is what it's like. And of course, this track has taken a lot of use the last, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes. You know, these laps being so short, it's wearing the track out even faster. That might not have been accounted for. I think this place rubbered up a lot quicker than admins were expecting. And of course, this track is usually run by karts and outlaw sprints and things like that. Tiny little race cars that run just a handful of laps. And, you know, it gets pretty slicked off by the end of the night, but they don't have big old cars like this working in the dirt. So this is definitely a special situation for sure. That was on board with Dylan Yeager. Let's find Logan Wentz. He's in the pit lane. How about Robert Puckett then? We'll go on board with Robert Puckett on the roof of his race car. And he's going to go for a spin. How about Dean Reynolds then? He goes for a spin. I mean, it happens that quick. So Zach Burtis is going to give it a shot this evening. He is, of course, one of our broadcasters here at Pit Stop TV. He's in the booth with me, but I told him I'd let him just go and practice this evening as much as possible, and it looks like that practice may be coming to a close as we get on past 8:45 here on the East Coast. So there is Zach in the pit lane inside of another car, but everybody else, yeah, seems to be slowing, and it looks like we might have our first matchup headed to the racetrack. And it seems it's going to be Dylan Yeager and Logan Wentz. So, Zach, I'll let you unmute, and this is going to be a special kind of day.
I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't run dirt that much, and I especially don't run Millbridge that much. I've only been to this track ever in my life once, so I'm kind of just learning as I go. I'm very much off the pace. I don't have a setup, and, well, I'm just trying to figure out what I'm doing here.
So here we go. This is how we're going to present this evening, as I think that was the green flag. It is. We're racing for 3 laps. This is Dylan Yeager versus Logan Wentz. This is kind of... no, hang on. Robert Puckett. Let me change that. See, I knew this would happen. We don't really have scoring. This is a practice session. So it's Dylan Yeager versus Robert Puckett, and here they go. That was lap 2. Here's lap 3. Yeager out ahead. And just like that, Dylan Yeager is going to walk out of turn number 4 and move on to the semifinals. This is going to be a very quick-paced kind of night. This is going to be a little weird, a little hard to get used to at first, but that was the 3-lap first matchup of the evening. So we don't have scoring the way you would expect. So I'll explain this a little bit. So basically there will be 2 cars on track for each 1v1 matchup, and we are going to have them on the bottom of your screen. We can go ahead and cycle to the next couple. It looks like it'll be Greg Kipple in the 38 and James Head in the number 6. And they will be on the bottom of your screen. So you'll be able to see who's on the racetrack, Zach, but there isn't exactly scoring to tell you who's where. We're just going off of visuals.
Visual aid is going to be the biggest thing for us tonight, and I love this idea. This is such an amazing combo to try and test out, especially at a track like Millbridge. It's really the type of track that these cars can't really race too much at. These big block modifieds are way too big, but, you know, shootout style, head-to-head, that's what I really like to see with something like this. Just an amazing idea.
Looks like that was the first formation lap. We should get the green flag when we come back around here for matchup number 2. So Dylan Yeager moves on. Now we'll see if Greg Keppel or James Head can move on, as these are the 2 cars that are rolling. Currently, there's the green flag. 3 laps. Let's see who's got it. The number 6 down low. That's James Head. He slides up. Keppel gets away. They're not done, though. Here we go. Lap number 2 coming up.
Up off of the curbing. Oh, that's going to be so close to the wall. Head gets away nicely, but is not able to get that car out in front. He's going to try to rip that bottom line, but it only does so much as he almost hits the cones, and I think this one is well and over, Andrew.
I think so. Greg Keppel going to come around turn number 4, and he will advance on to the semifinals, gets on through the quarterfinals. Car number 38 will move on. Did they make it a 4-lap race instead of 3 now? That's what it seems like. These guys are going for 4. Well, anyway, we'll work with it as the night goes on, but that is matchup number 2. I do think these guys are going for 4 laps. I'm going to confirm that with Andrew Reigel real quick. But let's see who we have next up. It'll be Samuel Bachman in the 007, and it will be Jace Schaff in the number 3, headed to the racetrack next. There they are on your screen. This is something I feel like you could even do in real life. Like, this is a really cool example of what can be done here at Millbridge. Big cars, tiny track. Here we go. Let's go. Green flag racing again. Matchup number 3. Schaff versus Bachman. Schaff down low, Bachman up top. And the lane choice clearly is a big deal. The top lane has prevailed every time.
And the top lane is definitely where you want to be right now. There is not a lot of rubber laid down up there. You can see a groove has been worked in on this racetrack, and it makes it a lot harder for these guys to find grip. I know I was having a lot of trouble finding grip on that racetrack, but into turns 3 and 4 now, it looks like Bachman is going to run away with this one.
So Bachman goes around for one more lap. I think, yeah, these guys must be doing 4-lap races. I think we were told initially 3, but that's okay. We've learned as we've gone on, and Bachman will move on. So Samuel Bachman will continue on into the semifinals and race for a spot in the finals this evening. I told you this would go quick. This could be a really quick broadcast. This is going to be fun, and I hope to see this come back a little more. I think this concept can be used a lot, as Trevor Giroux and Jimbo Rooney will head to the racetrack. I'll load them up on the graphic. Giroux and Rooney. The biggest question, Zach, is how are we going to do our driver of the day vote?
I am somewhat at a loss for how it's going to happen. I really don't know.
Definitely a big question, but as these guys get squared up for their run, this will be Trevor Giroux and Jimbo Rooney. You can see their last lap there on the bottom of your screen, along with their best lap of the session. And look at that, the whole shot for Jimbo Rooney. He gets out ahead of Trevor Giroux. That's the bottom lane winning a restart versus the top.
How about that? I'll have to take that into consideration when I go out on the racetrack. But Jimbo Rooney has got that car on lock. He is trying to put it away here through 3 and 4. Not too many laps to try and make some moves, so you got to try what you can down to the bottom line. Is he going to get it? No.
This is on board with Giroux. He's trying to get the spot back away from Rooney. I think they have one more lap. Big send down there in 1 and 2. Trying to get it. He's going to try it out here in 3 and 4. A big send again from Giroux. Contact, but Rooney's going to move on.
What a show right there.
That was incredible. All right, next couple up, as Giroux and Rooney will park it. Let's see, who is going to roll? Nobody rolling just yet. They're all, there we go. There's the car rolling. That's going to be Logan Wentz in the number 18. And it looks like Dean Reynolds in the number 79. Reynolds, I know we've broadcasted races with him in them before, so he is definitely one to contend. He has been quick in these big block modifieds ever since they released, so he is going to be fun to watch. This should be a lot of fun.
It should. Looking at the brackets, there should be about 2-3 more in these first
I think we're halfway.
rounds.
I think we're halfway. I think we've done 4, so we should have four to go. Halfway through the quarterfinals, then Logan Wentz versus Dean Reynolds. Wentz up top, Reynolds down low. One more formation lap for these two drivers. By the way, in case you're curious, in case you want to do your own testing, weather conditions for these guys, down bottom right of your screen, 71.5 in the air, very calm winds, but 81-degree track temp, 89% humidity, nothing crazy. And this should be the green. There it is. Dean Reynolds tries to get it, but that's going to be Logan Wentz with the whole shot. Here comes Reynolds back on the inside.
Big send down to the bottom. Reynolds trying to find a way through. They're going to stay side by side off of 4. Clear lane. Logan Wentz trying to get that car out in front, clear as day. Now he's got a bit of a car length with a few laps to go at the line. It looks like he's going to set sail, but the dive bomb is still open.
I believe that's 2 laps complete. Should have 2 more to go. Wentz a little tight that time into 3. Maybe gives up a little bit of time here to Reynolds. Reynolds dives in low. I believe that's 1 lap to go. Here comes Dean Reynolds. Can he get there? It's going to be a run back to the stripe, but it will be Logan Wentz, I believe, moving on. I believe that is checkered flag, and yes, it looks that way. So checkered flag in that matchup. Wentz will move on. Reynolds is eliminated. And it's cutthroat, Zach. When you go out there, you've got to be perfect or you're going home.
I fully intend to be going home. I'm walking in as a bit of an underdog here. I saw that they needed one more spot. They had one driver drop out. And, well, Andrew, you could say I'm doing it for the love of racing and for the sake of the broadcast as well.
Hey, going to be a lot of fun to see out there. But this will be Fred Hoffman and Anthony Morano. Hoffman will choose the bottom lane, Morano up top. If I had to guess, Morano probably got the choose there, and Hoffman would have loved the top side, but let's see what these guys can do. I think they're coming around to the green flag here. There it is, green flag. Whole shot on the bottom. That's Hoffman getting the race lead. Here comes Morano back down low.
Crossover move in full
slide
swing.
job, Morano.
Oh man, Morano's gonna take that top spot away from Fred Hoffman on to lap number 2. We're coming to lap number 3. It's gonna be 2 laps to go. And Morano said that you couldn't take it away from me. Hoffman got a great shot off the bottom, but it wasn't enough to hang on to the lead.
That's the best bit of passing we've seen all night long. That was really good. The whole shot on the bottom, the slide job, come back from second. That was great stuff, and it will be Anthony Morano off of turn number 4 advancing on this evening. He will fight on in the semifinals. I believe we've got 2 quarterfinal matchups to go. Zach, are you in the last one? No, he's in this one. Okay. All right, so Zach Murtis will be out there. I'll let him do his work, so I'll take the reins for this. He'll be up against Matt Taylor, and this will be the next matchup on the racetrack. They'll get one more formation lap, and that's our very own Zach Murtis down low in car number 02. Doing it for the Level Racing. I don't know how much big block experience he's got in the sim, but I don't think it's that much. And these guys, they run these cars a lot. So this will be an interesting run here for Zach. Matt Taylor outside, Zach Murtis down low, contacted. This one might be over quick, folks. Unfortunately, a bad start for Zach Murtis. He is now up on the wall. Everything has gone wrong. We're on board with you now, Zach. Yeah, he's a little too far back. But you never know. Matt Taylor could make a mistake. It's not guaranteed for Matt just yet. He's got to complete these laps. A short-lived restart, though, unfortunately, for Zach Murtis. It all went to Ryan there by turn 1. And I believe this is white flag for Matt Taylor. He should come back around and take this one away. And that'll be it. Matt Taylor will move on. Zach Murtis is relegated to the broadcast booth for the rest of the night. Zach, you gave it your best out there. I give you props for that, but it did not last very long.
Well, that's what happens when you kind of step on the throttle a little too hard on on the start. Look, man, I don't know how well I do on dirt cars, and I don't tend to drive them very often, so I'm just here to have fun.
Hey, you live and you learn. You live and you learn. So here we go. Our next matchup on the racetrack, this will be Chance Carr up top in the number 2. Joseph Groom down low in the number 11. And we'll see what they have to offer here as they go green, I believe this time by. Wait for it. There's the green flag. Big restart off the bottom. That was Groom, but Carr going to have the top side out of 1 and 2. That's a big run now to turn 3. He's got the race lead, but he's in the wall, and now Groom's got a problem. Carr pulls away.
Down below the cones, that was a bit of a hair-raising incident right there. It could have been a totally different story, but as we roll through, with just a few laps left in this one, Andrew, it's about as clear-cut as the last one was for me. It's all said and done.
These last 2 quarterfinal races go by very quickly. And it'll be Joseph Groom getting eliminated. It'll be Chance Carr moving on. What a round of quarterfinals. Now on to the semifinals. 8 drivers have now been eliminated. We'll eliminate 4 more, and then we'll send 4 around for, I believe, a 12-lap feature event where cautions will be on. It'll be just like a normal race, but just 4 cars out there. So, boy, this is going to be an interesting round of semifinals to see who races for all the money this evening. There is Dylan Yeager, so he will be first up. He'll head out in this first semifinal matchup against Greg Keppel in the number 38. It'll be Yeager up top, Keppel down low. And if you go just off of best lap time, Zach, Yeager has the advantage here. He's also got a black license, meaning he's a pro.
I was a little taken aback when I first saw that coming into the session, but it's nice to see that all types of drivers are allowed to compete in this. Asphalt drivers, rookie drivers, pro drivers, as we go green in this next session. Yeager with the big run up top, Keppel down low. Clear, set, and sailing is Dylan Yeager, and the top line now starting to come into full swing, Andrew. These guys are ripping real close to that wall. I would love to put a camera on that right rear tire just to see how these guys are ripping around here. Oh, you know what? Never mind. The great people at Whiplash Sim Cams give us a right rear tire. Look at how close they get to that outside wall coming off before.
Ask and you shall receive. Dylan Yeager will come around one more time, and oh, he's in the wall. Hang on. Can Keppel go?
Nope, checker,
no, okay.
checker.
That was checker. Okay. I thought for a second Yeager might have stepped on it, but Yeager will move on to the finals. Keppel will be eliminated. That will mean now that Bachman will head out for his run against Rooney. So Samuel Bachman in the 007 and Jimbo Rooney in the 27 will head out on the racetrack now. These are your semifinals. 4 matchups, 2 drivers apiece, 8 total. And this will set up for our 4-driver finals this evening. You could do 2 or 3 of these in a night, I feel like, Zach. This is moving on nice and quick.
Absolutely. You know, one thing that I've always thought about doing is like a challenge series, and I'll get more into that as we go on. Green flags
big
out.
start!
Look at Jimbo Rooney. Big run on the bottom.
I think he did that in his quarterfinal race too, where he got a big start off the bottom and got ahead to move on. Really?
Yellow from Race Control.
Is that start under review, maybe?
Ooh, I'd like to think it is. Looks like Race Control is going to make them line back up. Going to do a restart. So I would assume we'll just go off no laps completed. And we'll let them re-rack and restack for another shot at it. Looks like the drivers are trying to communicate with Race Control. Hang on.
While he listens in, I'm going to guess that Race Control did not like that start out of Rooney and is going to send it back.
There it is. Fired too soon out of Rooney. Green flag back in the air. Rooney gets it again. Shoots it down into turn number 1. He's got it clear by about 3 car lengths going into turn number 3. Samuel Bachman trying to roll that white line on the bottom. See if he can't rip it down there and catch back up. He's not making much ground. This is the big thing in dirt racing, Andrew. When that top line rolls in, you can really rotate on that bottom line, but quarter exit is a whole different story.
And there you see the entire racetrack, but Jimbo Rooney is going to move on over Samuel Bachman. I believe that was the final time around, maybe one more time around. No, I think that's it. Bachman will slow it on down. Rooney will bring it to a close. So Rooney moves on. Bachman is done. And that will now give way to Morano and Wentz, it looks like. Wentz in the number 18, Morano in the number... hang on, I had it, 32 car. So they will head out there for their semifinal matchup. It'll be Wentz down low, Morano up top. Morano, remember, back to his quarterfinal race. He started up top but got passed up in the whole shot, and then sent the big dive bomb slide job and got it back. What can we do here for the semifinals? Green flag. Wentz slides up ahead. Just like the quarterfinal race, Morano is not first to the stripe. He tries to slide job in there. That time, it's not successful.
Side by side.
Tries it again. That time it does work. Morano gets ahead again.
Wentz tagged the wall, and now he's all over the racetrack trying to keep all 4 tires on the ground, but it looks like this one's going to be clear cut and dry, Andrew. Anthony Morano is going to take the checkers here in the next lap, or excuse me, that was the checkered. He's going to take that checkered and roll on into the next round. That was one heck of a drive out of Morano to take it back off the start.
That's 2 times in a row now for Morano that he lost the start of the race and got it back. That's impressive. Matt Taylor going to head out on the racetrack now to go up against somebody. I'm not entirely sure exactly who just yet, but there he is. And it looks like it'll be Chance Carr. So Matt Taylor and Chance Carr. Matt Taylor, let's see, he looks like he will line up down low. Chance Carr will line up top. And they will have a go of things, I believe, next time around. So here we go. This will be the final semifinal matchup. And then we will go racing in the finals. Just 12 laps to decide the winner of tonight's Gunslinger Challenge. But we have one more semifinal matchup. Green flag. Big start from Matt Taylor. He gets the lead, but locks it up down low. Chance Carr around the top side. Gonna take the lead away.
Left front over the white line, almost to the cones. Chance Carr gets very much clear up on that top line, and Matt Taylor has to settle back in line. He's dropped back by about 2 car lengths as they rip over that top line. 2 laps to go here as Chance Carr is ripping around that outside line. He has got it on lock. You can see comparative on the times, about 4/10 quicker per lap. And that is over the line one more time around. Still about 4/10 consistently quicker. You can see that top line clear in, and Chance Carr is going to move on into our final round shootout as Matt Taylor settles for getting knocked out here in this quarterfinals. Semifinals, excuse me.
Yeah, that was the semifinals.
I was about to say.
Yeah, so quarterfinals into semifinals into finals, and that will do it for our 1v1 matchups here tonight in the Gunslinger Challenge. Now it'll be a 4-car race, 12 laps, and Zach, this is going to be interesting for sure. I mean, we've gone from 16 down to 4, unlimited fast fixes, cautions are on, and it's just up to these guys to decide who's going to win this thing. And oh, we're going to nighttime even. Look at that. Lights are on, the sun is down, pitch black outside. That happened in a hurry.
Gotta roll the track back in. I gotta get this thing all squared up. Well, actually, looking at the racetrack, it doesn't even look like it.
It's still pretty black out there. It is definitely dark. So Dylan Yeager is in this. I'm going to try to line up everybody in our lap time comparator, if you will. Chance Carr is in this, Anthony Morano, and Jimbo Rooney. So we will have, at the bottom of your screen, this graphic. This will show everybody's last lap time versus their best lap time. And you'll be able to keep up with the whole field there on the bottom of your screen. We will also have the ticker once we go green, just like normal there on the left side of your screen. So that will also be active. We'll bring it down for now. And there you see the 4 drivers that have made it into the finals for the Gunslinger Challenge. First time ever doing this, as far as I'm concerned. This is, again, something that I've thought about doing, but just haven't had the opportunity to do so. And I'm glad that Reigel Promotions has taken the initiative, has made the effort to do this here this evening. This is a really cool event, one of a kind here on iRacing. Maybe we'll see some more of this kind of stuff, I don't know. But looks like Dylan Yeager will choose the outside. And it's interesting, Zach, we know him from the BRB Racing League this past season. He's no longer racing over there. Now we see him over here, and he is really good on dirt, apparently.
Oh, absolutely. I think he is going to lock it down. And I think, Andrew, with only 12 laps and just how everything's been narrowed down, these should be our 4 picks for driver of the day. Green flag out here at Millbridge.
Green flag racing around lap number 1. Dylan Yeager with the race lead, watching from the fan cam. 12 laps the distance. We are off and away on lap number 2.
Rolling into turns 3 and 4, you saw Chance Carr take a shot going into turn 3, but he's not able to get in there just quite yet. A 9.28 is the quick time right now from Dylan Yeager as he is rolling around that top line. You see everybody else just kind of sliding on in. Yeager out and away. Chance Carr, Jimbo Rooney, and Anthony Morano make up your 4 drivers here in this final that are rolling around already almost halfway through.
Already almost halfway through. Let's go on board with Chance Carr and see if he can catch up at all. This is the gap. Bottom right of your screen, you can see the gap between them and how far Carr is back. He gets in the wall there. That's not going to help him out.
Not too many laps to do it. Not too many laps left already as Yeager has worked himself out to a 1.2 second lead. It fluctuates, Andrew. It's the complexity of Millbridge. It fluctuates between 1.8 and 1.4 from the looks of it at the moment. But Yeager is going to come back around with 4 laps to go. Clear cut and dry, the pace leader here. He's 4/10 clear of the next fastest car. Actually, about a 10th clear of Chance Carr, 4/10 clear of Anthony Morano, and almost over a second clear of Jimbo Rooney.
Jimbo Rooney falling back here in this one. He is 4th place and about to go a lap down. Here we go, though, for the white flag this evening in the Gunslinger Challenge. One more time around for Dylan Yeager, and he will have done it. He'll send off into turns 3 and 4 and exit turn 4, the winner of the very first ever, as far as I know, Gunslinger Challenge. Wow, what an event. That was rapid fire. We can almost do 2 or 3 more of these.
We could do 2 or 3 more of these. Our average broadcast time is
like 2.5 hours.
That's what I was about to say. We did this in about half an hour, 45 minutes.
Yeah, this was cool. Regal Promotions, do some more of this. This was really cool. And there you see the lap time comparisons down below as well. Jaeger's best lap was a 9.2. Nobody else even lower than a 9.4. So clearly Jaeger had this thing figured out. He definitely deserves it here this evening. He was fastest through practice. Absolutely electric in his matchups and drove away in that quick 12-lap race. I wouldn't mind seeing that be, lengthened out to like 25 even. I think we could manage 25 laps there. I think that would be okay, but definitely something to learn for next time. The Driver of the Day vote is live, by the way. I did go ahead and put that up with the 4 drivers that made it into tonight's final event. So Chance Carr, Dylan Yeager, Jimbo Rooney, Anthony Morano, they are all up for vote in the North American Racing League Driver of the Day for this event. We are waiting on some driver interviews. Let's go ahead and bring them in. We'll start off with our race winner, Dylan Yeager, who gets it done in the Gunslinger Challenge. And Dylan, we got pretty familiar with you for a little while on the pavement side. Now we see just how good you are on the dirt side. But what was the secret tonight? Was it the setup? Was it just getting practice in and learning the track? What gave you the edge? Because clearly you had one.
I don't know. I practiced a little bit. I messed with the setup and I found something because I kind of figured it would go to the top at some point. And I found something that could rotate enough on the top because it's kind of difficult in these cars to get the car rotated because it weighs so freaking much. But found something that worked and stuck with it and ended up giving us the win there.
And you get it done over a pretty interesting crowd. I think drivers from all walks of life. Of course, you have that black license to your name. That's all nice and cool. But these guys still had some pace. Were you worried at all in practice when you saw they were pretty close to you?
I wouldn't say I was worried in practice. I would say the most I was worried was maybe on the initial starts of those the 1v1 races because it's hard to pass here. The track is so small and it's kind of one lane that if you get stuck behind somebody, you kind of just have to throw it in there and close your eyes and cross your fingers. So I was glad that I had it pretty easy there on them shootout races to the point where I could just get right up.
And of course, we're in love with this. We really enjoyed this. It was rapid fire. It was a lot of fun. It was really cool seeing the 1v1s out there. If you could take this idea and expand upon it, what would you do?
I think maybe just some more laps if it's on a smaller track like this. I would say if we were at a big track like maybe Eldora or Knoxville, I think the 3 laps for the shootouts and the 12 laps for the main race is enough. But on a track like this, I mean, we were done in like a minute. So I would say maybe just some more laps and do it more often. I mean, it was a blast. It was fun watching all the other guys race. It's something different. I've never done this on iRacing before, so it's cool to be a part of it.
Definitely a lot of fun this evening. Dylan, thanks for your time. Congratulations on winning the very first ever Gunslinger Challenge. Definitely well deserved.
Yeah, thank you.
Dylan Yeager gets it done this evening. We'll move on down to second place. That's going to be Chance Carr, Zach. And that number 2 car, it looked good. It just unfortunately did not quite have the pace for Dylan Yeager out front.
Did his very best to throw it down into the corners and try to find his way to get around Dylan Yeager. See if he can make his way up there just a little bit. And
I thought I moved him in. Sorry, I might have grabbed the wrong driver. Hang on, there's Chance. My bad.
Yeah, Chance Carr rolling off here with a second place finish. Number 2 in spot number 2. Chance, how you feeling after that one? This was an interesting event to say the least.
Yeah, that was unique. Shout out to Andrew for trying something different and putting something on. That was fun. It's always nice to mix stuff up and do different things now and again. That was fun though.
Yeah, absolutely. We were talking a lot up here in the booth of just how complex this shootout style racing was. We've always seen things like this happen. This is something you'd see at like your local asphalt track where they let the fans come in and do their everyday daily drive cars for like a quick 5-6 lap shootout on their local short track. And this kind of brings that type of feel. How do you feel like seeing more of these events moving forward?
I would like it. I think a little bit bigger track would show it even more. Millbridge is fun because it's a short, you can get it through quickly. But I'd be open for it in the future and try different tracks and see what we can make of it.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on your second place finish on the night and making the final round of the shootout style event. Congratulations once again. Looking forward to seeing you in what could be another installment sometime soon. We'd love to see more of this.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having me.
Absolutely. That's Chance Carr on a second place finish here tonight, Andrew. And then you've got our last podium finisher of Anthony Morano bringing it home in that third spot.
And Anthony Morano got it done on a couple of quick restarts in his 1v1 matchups, but what went wrong there at the start of the race to kind of pull you back away from those guys up front in the final there, Anthony?
I just throttled up and the car got up on the bars and straightened down. Had to back out of it. I was going to kill Jimbo there on the outside. I mean, definitely didn't want to be doing that. So I pretty much killed any chance I had of catching up to Chance or Dylan there. So just try to hit my marks after that and catch back up. And I'm not sure what happened with Jimbo. I think he got the wall going into 3 or something, and I scooted around him and just try not to kill myself and finish where I could, and that was that.
And of course, I think the overall thought about this event at this point is that it's very unique, very cool. Maybe try it at some different tracks, different cars, move it around a little bit, try some different pieces and parts. What would you do if you could expand upon this idea and change it up just a little bit and go for round 2? What would you do?
I mean, it's for a big block series, so you really want to keep the big blocks. But I don't know. I mean, the track was fun. I don't think any of us really have ever raced big blocks here. I know I haven't. So, the only thing I could really think of is maybe doing something with the starting area, maybe either doing a countdown or having an exact spot on the track where you can fire at. But other than that, I mean, it was a blast. I had a good time doing it.
Definitely a lot of fun here this evening in the Gunslinger Challenge. Anthony, thanks for your time. Congratulations. Really good looking car, by the way, and hopefully we'll see you again soon.
Thanks.
Anthony Morano, third place this evening. The only driver out of the feature we aren't talking to is Jimbo Rooney. And boy, I can only imagine what he'd have to say about those couple of starts that he got. There's some feelings out there, I think, about how he got it done. But hey, he made it into the finals, and that's what matters. He was able to show up and show out and at least make it to the final event this evening. Props to him and everybody this evening. I mean, even you, Zach. It was a really cool event, and definitely a big props to Andrew Reigel and everybody. Two Fat Guys, Sim Racing Promotions, and all the partners here this evening with this event. This was a really, really cool thing, and I think it can be taken, expanded upon, draw it out just a little bit longer maybe, make it more of a show out of it, and I think we can come back and do this some more. So Andrew Reigel, thank you so much for having us here tonight. This was a pleasure, as always, to work for you, and hopefully we're back soon with another one of these. And here you go, all the partners behind this kind of event: Right Rear Racing, Dirt Series Promotions, 618 Engraving and Design, Premier Racing and Setups, Admin Box, Third Party Gaming, and everybody else. I'm sorry I couldn't read them all off the graphic, but yeah, this was cool. Zach, final thoughts?
I shouldn't have stepped on it. That's all I can say.
Fair enough. Well, we do want to take a look at what's upcoming for us here at Pit Stop TV. This is what's up next. We head out tomorrow to the West Coast for the Auto Club Speedway with the BRB Racing League and the Butt Kicker Cup Series. That is their 17th of 18 races. It is their penultimate round, and just a couple more times around for them. You see it Auto Club and then Las Vegas for their championship. And it's interesting, we have two finales on this graphic because we have the BRB finale at Las Vegas on here. We also have the North American Racing League finale at Zolder on here. That's happening this week on September the 11th over at Circuit Zolder in Belgium. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Some Cup racing, some GT3 racing as we move on in September. A lot of great racing coming up here on Pit Stop TV, and a lot of great stuff happening in the Real Promotions world as well. Just make sure to follow along with everything they have got going on in their Discord server with Zach. For everything Pit Stop TV, it's all happening down below.
Absolutely. PitStopTV.com, Facebook.com/PitStopTV, Instagram.com/Pit_Stop_TV, YouTube.com/PitStopTV1, Twitch.tv youtube.com/pit_stop_TV, youtube.com/pitstoptv1, the best place, the great place to watch Pit Stop TV, because that's where you can vote on your driver of the day in all of these great Pit Stop TV events, and x.com/pitstoptv_. If you're looking forward to some great racing, BRB Butt Kicker Cup Series is looking to finish off what has been a strong season for them. North American Racing League returning to us is always great because they are always putting on some great sports car racing, and we're getting new sports car updates with build day being tomorrow for the iRacing.com sim. So there's going to be some awesome, great new features coming to the iRacing sim. There's going to be some new ways that they're working in on how those cars are going to be driven. So I'm excited to see how their race is going to turn out on Thursday.
I don't think anything's going to change for them. There's going to be some hybrid stuff for the GTP cars, but there might be some minor physics adjustments for the GT3 cars. Not much going on there. The cool thing about GT3, Zach, is we're getting an Aston Martin GT3 car finally. After all these years, we are getting an Aston Martin GT3, so that will be cool. And you mentioned the driver of the day vote. Right now it's split, and there's really no way to split it, so we're just going to let it be split. Chance Carr and Jimbo Rooney will share the honors. Chance Carr there and Jimbo Rooney sharing the driver of the day honors here this evening. Here is Chance Carr. Well, I was going to show you Chance Carr's machine. Here is Chance Carr's machine. And take a look as well at Jimbo Rooney's machine there under the flag stand as he dives into turn one in the replay here. So, Zach, one more time. Overall rating here, 1 out of 10. What's it going to be?
I'm going to give it a 9. And I would give it a 10. I absolutely would give it a 10. However, I think I'm just going to express the biggest concern that the other drivers had. Just give us more laps, because that was awesome.
Yeah, I think at least like a 25-lap feature here would be pretty cool. I think this was a really cool event.
I think 6-lap heat, 2-lap or 5-lap consi, and then a 25-lap race. I think that would be a perfect way to cap it off. Well, no consi if it's the shootout style, but I think that works.
I think Andrew Reigel's learned a lot, and I think we're going to maybe go to the drawing board and add a few things, and I think this was cool. I think this is really cool. I hope to see more of this. I cannot say that enough. I hope we see more of these kinds of events, but that'll do it for us this evening from the virtual Millbridge Speedway. The very first time here on Pit Stop TV we've ever broadcasted anything from Millbridge. Thanks so much for joining us here tonight. We'll see you all next time here at Pit Stop TV, hopefully tomorrow night on Build Day for the BRB Butt Kicker Cup Series from Auto Club. We'll see you there.